Today I'm going to be talking about tripods. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about the Manfrotto BeFree Advanced Travel Tripod. First of all, let me just get this out of the way. Manfrotto did send me this tripod to test out. They have no say in this review. These are all my own thoughts about using this for, I'd say, around a month. And I have some thoughts on it. So let's get into that. First of all, what Manfrotto didn't know when they reached out to me was like a week or two prior to them contacting me, I had started to think that I needed to get another tripod. The two tripods I have are the Ulanzi Zero and this old Manfrotto travel tripod. And when I say old, all you have to do is look at the iconography on this tripod, the cameras that it references for video and for stills. I've had this a while. The only reason I started to think that I needed a new one was because this element on top is starting to show its age. There's some creakiness to it, and I think there's some cabling in here, and I'm worried it's getting a little fragile. You know, this was what I started my channel with. This is what I've been using for a long time. I only had one tripod. After starting my channel, it became clear that, you know, I'm a photographer, so I have a tripod need for photography, and then I'm doing this channel, which is tripod need for video. I went for super svelte. You know, I went with this Ulanzi Zero. This carbon fiber, really compact design is wonderful in many ways, but it's also frustrating in many more. I would say that their goal with this was to be as compact as possible. Now, saying that, I should point out that it sort of spoiled me as far as size goes. So when I actually unboxed and took out the Manfrotto for the first time, my immediate fear was that I was going to have to give a negative review. I thought it was big, but I find that kind of amusing now because it is not big. Regular size tripods are big. This is not big at all. In fact, these are the same height. The only difference is the circumference of the legs wrapping around the center column is a little bigger on the Manfrotto than it is on this one. But I would say that's because Manfrotto chose not to compromise. You know, another fear was that the twist lock legs were going to be an issue for me. I've had flip lock legs like on the Ulanzi and on the old Manfrotto. That turned out to not even be an issue. You could take your hand and just roll all three of them at the same time and then pull them out. Just like with the flip locks, you can flip lock them all and then pull them all out. I don't feel like I gained speed, but I don't feel like I lost speed. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. One of the things that I should point out is on the Ulanzi Zero it's an all metal build. So everything is metal, including these little flip locks for the legs and up on the ball head. I have used it in the cold. I actually got this around Thanksgiving of 2023. And, you know, using this in the winter time, it does hurt your hands, you know, especially if it's cold outside. That's one nice thing about the twist locks is if I had gloves on, it would still be just as easy as with my bare hands. So now I want to get into the ball head. The ball head that comes with this particular unit is called the Manfrotto 494 center ball head. It is an all aluminum ball head, fits really nicely on here. And this is where I think Manfrotto made choices in what was acceptable and what was not acceptable to compromise on. One of the things that I noticed right away that I really do like is that all the knobs for controlling the ball head are big. They're big, they're easy to get to, they don't require a lot of dexterity. Everything is easy to get to, where in a travel tripod that goes for size over everything, you have smaller controls. All of the pieces are really hard to get to. Like this lever right here is how you pull up the center column. You can't even access it with the legs closed. You have to expand the legs open to get to it. And even then, it's kind of hard to latch and unlatch. So, you know, this has a nice big twist lock for the center column, nice big twist lock for the ball head. I feel a lot more confidence in it than the Ulanzi. So in order to get the Ulanzi ball head working, first of all, it has to come out of its little hidey hole here, because again, they went for size over all other features. You unlock it and then you can twist it. But if the camera you're using and the lens you're using is a little too heavy for the tripod, for the ball head, it will, like, you'll lock it into place and it'll slowly settle to where it's going to be. I have not had the same problem with this ball head. In fact, this ball head I had at its 90-degree angle for one of my shots where I wanted to take this photo of these rapids, and I had my zoom all the way zoomed out, and I was over the water a little bit. You know, I was on this rock with the tripod, completely confident. Like, I didn't even doubt for a second that the camera was mounted and the ball head was holding the camera. So that was actually kind of nice to let go of that little bit of trepidation that I have with the smaller ball head. If I have one gripe about the top of the ball head, it is Manfrotto's M-Lock system. The truth is, I have my own quick release system that I bought into, and what I really want more than anything is just straight up Arca Swiss. Now, the plate itself that they use is Arca Swiss compliant, so you can use your camera with two different tripods without having a problem. You know, you could have the one plate on. But for me, I use these little PGY Tech plates that go into these little slide lock systems. They are Arca Swiss compliant. It's just really easy to get things in and out. And I have a ton of them, so I have them on all my cameras, all my tripods, all this stuff. So what I have to do with this is put my system on top of this plate and put the plate in their M-Lock system. But for the purposes of reviewing this tripod, to just try the M-Lock system the way they've designed it. And the truth is, I really like this system a lot. You know, if I wasn't already bought into the system I own, I actually think I would find this quite useful. I did find it quite useful when I was out there, and you set this lock to be like hairpin triggered. It's really nice. It's actually very easy to push your camera in and snap it into place. You know, there's a lot of confidence with the way it snaps into. And once it's in there, I feel very confident with, you know, the ball itself is bigger. Everything just feels like they didn't compromise the way the Ulanzi Zero wide design compromises. Speaking of that shot over the rapids, that turned out to be one of my favorite shots of the entire year. You know, this tripod was instrumental in getting that shot. All right, so let me talk about the legs and feet. I already touched on the twist lock legs. The legs have this locking system where they, you know, lock into place. I actually like carrying the tripod better this way than the other folded up way. The other folded up way is shorter, for sure. It is much shorter, but this way is actually closer in the diameter I'm accustomed to with this. So I actually do prefer carrying it this way. Either way, they fit in my bag just fine. So I have a Peter McKinnon Nomadic 25-liter bag that has tripod holders on either side, or I should say pockets on either side. Both of these tripods fit in there. In either orientation for this Manfrotto, they fit. So it's not a problem at all. I was, you know, easily able to throw them in my bag, go for a little hike. Not an issue. Let's get into some other features here. On the ball head, there's a twist that I have not seen on any of my other tripods, and this controls the friction. So when you have it really loose, the friction of the ball head is really, really super loose. And when you have it tightened up, you can still move the ball head around, but there's friction. And then of course you can tighten the whole thing, and then it's, you know, stuck. It makes fine tuning your angle of your ball head much easier than if it's just completely loose. On the side is an easy link, and inside it is a threaded 3/8 inch screw hole or bolt hole. All of my extension arms and all the things that I use to attach things to a tripod for like POV are 1/4 inch. So I ended up just putting a 3/8 inch to 1/4 inch inside this socket, and that worked just fine. There is a hook on the side to hang a bag. Unfortunately, the location of the hook between the legs is actually too close for me to get my bag just straight on the hook. So in order for me to hang something from here, I would have to take a carabiner or something in my bag so I could hang the carabiner on the strap that I, you know, can grab my bag by, and then hang it on here. I don't think that's a huge deal. It would just be nice if it was at the bottom of the column, like some of the other travel tripods. You know, this bottom of the column just makes it really easy to center your bag right underneath, where this one is a little off. Unlike this travel tripod and unlike my KNF, the feet do not come off, so there's no buying spikes or anything like that. If they come off, I haven't figured out how to get them off. I'm afraid to just pull because I don't want to tear anything or break anything. Speaking of tearing and pulling, or bottom of the column does come out, you just really have to give it some pressure and it pops out. And then you can flip the center column around and do underneath, if you want to get a really low shot, like over the rapids kind of thing. As for the size, with the ball head out, I think it might be a little too big for most people's travel on luggage. In this orientation, it would fit in any carry-on luggage. It would fit in a backpack, it would fit in carry-on luggage. All right, some positives of this Manfrotto BeFree Advanced Travel Tripod are its size. Even though it's a little bigger than this travel tripod, it's still a very compact size. I do have some brand recognition with the Manfrotto name because of this old tripod that I've had, and I've had it so long that I just kind of trust that. So I believe that this tripod is going to last me a while. It just feels so sturdy. It has such a great weight to it and good heft. I really feel like when I undo the legs, everything just feels very solid, very comfortable. And I really like that the ball head has natural controls, big knobs. Everything is really easy to get to. A couple of things that I don't like. One is this Easy Link system that they have at the top of the legs. You'll notice that when the center column is fully extended, the Easy Link attachment point is really far away from the ball head. And for me, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The Easy Link for me is an attachment arm in my phone, attachment arm in my Pocket 3, showing you what I'm looking at, when I'm doing a POV. If I were set up to do video and I were trying to use that Easy Link to attach a light to, I would want the light up near the lens, facing on my face. So having it way down here means I have to do this weird thing with all of my extension arms to get it to go as high as I would need it to. Where the reality is I would never do that. I would just clamp on right here like it didn't have the Easy Link. So I kind of find the placement of the Easy Link to be in the wrong spot. Another thing that I wish they would have done differently is I wish they would have given feet that were easily removable and replaceable with spikes. I know that travel tripod doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be adventuring, but travel tripod for me means going into the mountains, and going into the mountains means I would like my tripod to be really seated into earth, especially when it's windy. And then of course the last thing I wish they did differently was, I think a simple Arca Swiss plate would have been better. But if you don't have a system, if this is going to be your only tripod, your lightweight tripod, your travel tripod, your everything tripod, this M-LOK system is actually really good. I do like it. I just wish I could use Arca Swiss stuff in the mounting part. It is portable, it is sturdy, and it is easy to set up. And those things are important when you're, in my case, I'm hiking in the mountains and I really want to deploy my tripod and get my stuff on it. I don't want to be fighting with it. So it's really nice to have something that's so simple to set up. It's also nice that it feels so sturdy. It feels so sturdy that I actually think this will become my video tripod, and I feel more confident in this than I do in this. This is mostly a prop because I don't actually use tripods for my shots. All of my cameras have IBIS, and I've grown very comfortable with IBIS. I actually love it a lot. So a lot of times what I'm doing is I'm recording a video of my camera on a tripod because I'm recording a video. In my scenario, this is my main tripod and this is my backup prop tripod. Anyway, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. It always helps me, keep on going. I want to thank Manfrotto for sending me this review unit. I love this tripod. It's really turned out to be just a wonderful surprise. And that's it. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.